All right, good afternoon. So, yesterday we talked a lot about building profile. Today we're going to be talking about building your bio, your elevator script, and email signature. These are all important things to be doing to build your brand. Again, yesterday we talked about profiles, the importance of having those complete. But in any of our communication, we need to make sure that we're prepared to be professional, and give that good first impression. People will connect with you a lot quicker or make a decision not to use you if you're not connecting well with them. And so today we're going to go through this presentation. Use the chat if you want to drop in any questions. If I ignore your question, it's probably because I'm not looking at the chat. Just unmute yourself and say, "Hey, Jerry, I have a question. You're not paying attention." Uh, I can handle that. All right. So let me get this going here. All right. So creating your bio, elevator, and email signature. This training is designed for members of JLA Realty Omni Elevate. Made the decision recently to open this up to all our JLA agents and also guests. And so you'll see that mentioned in here. That is the organization which I lead, and we got a few of our members on today. So it's great seeing you all. All right. So what we're going to accomplish by the end of the session, you should be able to write a compelling bio. I showed some of y'all yesterday kind of a sneak peek of what you're going to get to do today. Elevator scripts. So the elevator script is what can you say in 30 seconds to connect to somebody or less. And then email signature, making sure you've got a compliant, professional branded signature that reinforces your credibility. So should be at the bottom of every email. So we'll go through that today. Oh, Brenda, I see you on here. There we are. All right.
Ah,
So your bio is the trust builder. And we talked about building trust a lot yesterday with profiles. They're reading this and they may either know you and they're doing some research. I think we shared a statistic yesterday that 90% of people are going to go back and do their research on you before making a final decision. Or they'll do it before they meet you. And so it's building that trust. Why should I trust this agent with one of the biggest financial decisions of my life? Your elevator script is a conversation starter. That's a strong elevator script is going to make you look confident. And people like to hire confident people. A lot of this business is built on just being more confident. So having that script ready to go. And then your email signature is for compliance. There's things that you should have your IABS, a link to your IABS, a link to the Texas Consumer Protection Notice, should have some sort of disclaimer. All that is because you're communicating with your client through email. And if you ever have a court case, you've got those things in there. That's very, very important. All right, so best practices for writing a standout bio. One is keep it professional, but you want it to be personal. And I'm going to go back here at the end and show you yesterday. We went through some questions that one of our team members answered to create a fairly robust bio. People have to be able to connect with you. If it's nothing about real estate, they're not going to connect with you. Like I do sound at my church. I've got kids. I got one in Mississippi State. I like to barbecue. So, it's part of who I am. And there's people that will connect with you on that. So, what are you involved in? What are your hobbies? You know, talk about your background. How did you get into real estate? Why did you choose it? People want to work with people, not robots. Mention your service area very clearly. If they can't tell what areas that you service, they're going to move on to somebody that does have that in their bio. So make sure that you have in there. Don't just put Texas. Texas is big. Make sure you have your location in there so people know what to look for. And I'm not doing these in order. I'm skipping. I'm doing prime numbers. So number five, write in the first or the third person. Okay? Both are acceptable. You could do either one, but just make sure you're not switching between first and third person. Keep it one or the other. Include some sort of call to action. Call me today. If you're looking to buy, sell, or invest in Corpus Christi real estate, call me. Right? Lead with value. Every line should answer, why should somebody trust me with one of their biggest financial decisions in their life? So if you're reading through your bio and you're going sentence by sentence, ask yourself that question. If they read this, does this build trust? Then you'll go to the next sentence. If I read this, does it build trust? And if it doesn't, rescript your bio. Make sure you stay compliant. Do not imply specialties that require certification. So don't say you specialize in working with veterans and you don't have any sort of accreditation to do that. You can say you enjoy working with veterans, just don't say you specialize working with veterans. So just be very careful with what you put out there. Use safe language like I focus on, I often work with, I enjoy helping to describe your areas of practice. Keep it clear and concise, 150 to 250 words. That might be all you're able to fit in if you're doing things like Zillow or Realtor.com. 300 to 500 words, maybe for an MLS. Remember, every word should earn its place, right? So sometimes we be too wordy. People have the attention span of less than a goldfish, which is 8 seconds. So if you don't get them in the first couple of sentences, they may not read the rest. And then make sure you're updating it regularly. So if you have anything that you're doing, or you have a life change event, or maybe you've got production now, maybe you didn't have production 6 months ago, things that you can talk about, you want to update that regular. Don't I've seen bios with agents that have been in 30 years in the business and it's still the same bio and they still have the same headshot. We talked about that yesterday. If you've been in the business 30 years and you haven't got a new headshot, it's probably time. We don't want to scare them when we show up to the house. All right, so here's a prompt. So this is a little bit different than what I shared yesterday, but it's still effective. Is write a professional real estate bio for me. I'm a realtor with JLA Realty Omni Elevate, or whoever you're with. Include strengths, background, and service areas. Here's my information. So you're going to go through and answer each one of these. My real estate experience. So now, if you started today, you probably don't want to put started today. All right, so use common sense with this. Cities and areas I've served, my past career and background, what clients appreciate most about me. I appreciate my approach to communication, service, personal details, contact info, write in first or third person. So you're going to tell it what to write in and ensure that's friendly, professional, and trust building. Okay. You may also add an instruction like make sure that the wording doesn't violate fair housing laws, TREC rules, HAR, NAR, TXR policies for marketing. It does a pretty good job of researching that and making sure that those words are taken out or it's changed to where you'd be in compliance. After you generate the bio, read it aloud, make sure it sounds natural and authentic. Sometimes you put things through ChatGPT and it sounds robotic. So you may have to play with it a few times. Make adjustments to match your speaking style. The best bios sound like you having a conversation with a potential client. Should be warm, knowledgeable, helpful, and then create several versions of it. So once you've got it done in ChatGPT, you can go back and say, hey, I need different versions of these links. And to keep the feel of it, just condense it to fit those different sites that you might have. All right, elevator scripts, and we're going to come back to the bio here at the end. I'm going to show you some things, but 3 ready to use elevator scripts. So if you don't have one put together, I've got 3 here. So really simple. Wanted to share some exciting news. I've transitioned into real estate and joined JLA Realty Omni Elevate. I'm helping people buy, sell, and invest in real estate across Kingwood, Texas. If you or someone you know is thinking about a move, I'd be honored to be a resource. Your support means a lot as I build my business. Right. Now, when should you use this? So I'm thinking of a business to business networking, maybe a chamber event, something like that. You're not going to use this right away when you meet somebody. Always ask them what they do first. Once you ask them what they do and they talk, they're naturally going to ask you what you do. So then that's where your script comes in. So general networking script. So here's the one for events. Hi, I'm Jeremy, a realtor with JLA Realty. I help people in Kingwood, Texas navigate buying and selling homes, clarity and confidence. If you ever have a question about the market or know someone who needs real estate help, I'm here as your go-to resource. Real simple, 30 seconds. They don't need the life story. The vendor business partner script. So this is those conversations with your lenders, your insurance agents, title company reps. I'm I'm Jeremy, realtor with JLA Realty. I'm building strong relationships with trusted vendors in the community. Even if you work with other agents, I'd love to get to know you and understand your services and explore how we can support each other. My goal is a consistent source of referrals and provide my clients with vendors they can trust. I've got time, this next week, Monday at 9, Tuesday at 2. Which one of those work best? Right. So set the appointment. Use the script, set an appointment. Let's stop the share right here. Any questions on that? Does everybody have an elevator script? Do you have one that you use already? And you can unmute yourself.
I thought I could be imprompt, but when I was at the chamber, I was bad. Like trying to come up with one on the fly was not good with 87 of my closest friends watching.
Yep. Yeah, it's did you do it in front of the room?
Oh yeah, we
Yeah.
all 88 of us. And I'm like, great. And I was at table two.
Yep. You got to be prepared for that. So getting the scripts and working on them, practicing them, that's the most important thing is you got to practice the script. Is when you get into that environment, it doesn't sound scripted because you've practiced it enough to where it's just you. But you got to be ready because you never know. They might be like, "Hey, come up and tell us what you do," and you're like deer in a headlight, looking out at 500 people, and you stumble. And I've done that. I've tried to do things on the fly. Doesn't work. Um, those it's really easy, and you're not up there. If you practice it and you can get it 30 seconds, you don't feel like you have to fill up 20 minutes. Just, hey, this is what I do. Here's how I can help, and move on. So use practice from the mirror. Record yourself saying it. I know we hate doing videos, and we don't because we don't like the way that we sound, but it allows you to get better and better and better. And one day it's natural, rolls off the tongue. People go, well, Jeremy, how do you know all the scripts? You do it for 20 years and it's easy. It rolls. It's just from practice, 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 practice. Practice by yourself and then call another realtor. Say, hey, I just want to run through my elevator script. Run through it. Let them give you some feedback. And then ask them if they've got their elevator script. Probably won't. Okay. All right, let's get back. All right, professional email signature requirements. Um, your signature is more than a sign off, it's a legal requirement in Texas, and it's also an opportunity to brand yourself. So every email you send should reinforce your professionalism, and it also will help you stay compliant. So required by TREC must be above the signature. I see this wrong all the time. People don't like putting this above the signature because it looks ugly. But above the signature, you should have the Texas Real Estate Commission information about brokerage services. You need the link for that. Texas Real Estate Commission Consumer Protection Notice. Put in the link for that. If you're an HAR member, if you log into HAR, go to the search, type in IABS. It will take it to a pre-form, filled out form of the IABS. And it'll even give you the link. So you just copy that link, and that's going to be part of your signature. But again, it's got to be above your picture and your contact information. Professional contact information, your full name with the realtor designation. So if there's if you're not a member of NAR, you can't be a realtor. You can be a real estate agent. Most of y'all, and I think everybody on this call, from looking at the name list, everybody here is a realtor. So realtor, and it's if you hold down the Alt key and the code is 0147. I'm going to put that in the chat. Alt 0147. That will give you that little R circle. All right. Name of your brokerage. You have a team name, phone number, professional email. We talked about this, and I'm not going to harp on it too much, but having a professional email is important. A lot of people use the Gmail. A lot of people use Yahoo. I would stray from Yahoo just because they're not. I don't believe they're providing any security on their emails anymore. And with the emails that we're sending today and all the fraud, might be something to consider. Website link or profile link, and then your license number. It's optional, but recommended that you have it there. Your branding elements, JLA Realty logo in our case. If you have a team logo, you could include that there. ChatGPT does a great job at creating this type of stuff for your email. Just make sure if you use chat, and I know we've had some issues with our brokerage, is that sometimes it'll change the color or it'll change the look slightly. So if you go into chat GPT and you upload the logo, just say, don't change the logo. And most of the time it'll leave it alone. Professional headshot, it's optional, but recommended. And then a tagline that maybe it's something about the area in which you serve, like Kingwood is the livable forest. So I've got one for just my personal real estate business, although I don't advertise it, is nesting with confidence because it ties into being in the forest.
Question.
Yep.
Are your thoughts on using a Canva signature photo with all that information in it and then putting that in as your signature
Like
thing?
embedding it,
Yes.
it's fine. Yep. I have no problem with that. So mine, I built it. I probably built it in Canva and uploaded it. I don't have any clickable links on mine. The links that are clickable for the IABS are above the line, so it's not like part of the image. So yeah, Canva's great for that. You can design it in chat. There's a bunch of different programs you can design it in.
Okay.
Yep, great question. Right. Two disclaimers I would make sure that you have inside of your signature block is important notice on wire fraud. So the wire fraud one, and then a confidentiality notice because you're sending emails that may have confidential information, and you want to make sure that if you send it to the wrong person, this helps cover you and protect you. It should be in your signature or at the bottom. It's the bottom of the signature. All right. So this would be kind of a template of what it would look like to complete the signature. You'd have your Texas Real Estate Commission information about brokerage services and your consumer protection notice. And really, I don't know why it says Texas Real Estate Commission. You could just have information about brokerage services and linked, and then the consumer protection notice, and then link it. Name, realtor, daily realty, Omni Elevate. Here it'll have the disclaimers. You should have those on there too. It's added protection. All right. So action plan, and then I'm going to show you a couple things. Write and upload your bio, memorize your elevator script, and then make sure if you don't already, install your email signature. If it's not compliant, go and update your signature. And again, these are just foundational things. This is part of creating your professional brand. Every prospect, client, industry professional will encounter these elements when you're sending them email or, we didn't even talk about text today. You could create a text signature as well. All right.
I have another random question. I'm sorry, everyone.
No
I'm really
random
sorry.
questions. Those are good.
But okay, so typically when I send out an email, The initial contact, I have all that information. When I reply, it typically doesn't have the signature line below it. So are you recommending to do signature line at all times?
Um, I don't have mine set up that way. I know what you're talking about. It becomes a thread.
Hmm.
As long as it's in there, that's most important.
Just one,
I
the
think
one
I
initial.
think there is a setting in Gmail where you can have it
Hmm.
every time. It might not be a bad idea, just so people don't have to go search for it. It's there. But I think as long as it's at least in the thread, you're covered.
Okay.
Yep. No, that's a great question. All right. So let me get out of this. We're gonna do some stuff, fun stuff. Maybe. Let's see. And let me see. I think I've got. Oops. So I'm going to share the screen just so you can see an email signature. So this is my personal email signature. So I just have our logos, Jerry Williams, Omni Elevate, mobile. Here's my email, web. Since I don't sell, I don't have my IABS and consumer protection notice on here. But if I were going to do it, it's going to be up here above. Okay, it's going to be at the top. All right. Let's go over to chat. So I'm going to walk through again what I did yesterday and kind of show you a good place to start to build a great bio. So a simple prompt could be name is Jeremy Williams. I am a realtor brokered by JLA Realty. I serve the Kingwood, Texas market, helping buyers and sellers. Ask me 10 questions that will help me build a bio that creates trust for those making real estate decisions. Okay. Let the questions be both professional and personal. Okay. So then what it's going to do is going to come back and ask these questions. What led you to become a realtor? When a client's working with you, what three words hope describe their experience? Tell me about a client transaction you'll never forget. What happened? Why did it matter to you? Why have you chosen to serve Kingwood and surrounding areas? So I'm just going to go through and I'm going to answer all these questions. All right. Once I answer all those questions, I'm going to use my friend Sil on our team. He went through and answered questions the other day for me. Let's see. Sil bio. All right, 1 second. I find those questions.
They look like they're an attachment above.
Um, no, that's a different one. Let's see. Sil. 1 second. I meant to have this pulled up already. Okay, here we go. So I asked him these 10 questions and then I asked him some bonus questions. So he came down and he gave me all service areas and then all the answers to those questions. So he spent a little bit of time on this. You can see there's quite a bit that he gave me. So you would do the same thing and then say, based on this content, Write a powerful bio that connects with people and builds trust. Include a call to action. All right, so it's going to take all that information that he gave and it's going to create a really powerful bio. Okay. Now that bio might be kind of long for certain versions. This would probably be more like a website bio. You could go longer there, but you may need one. Um, keeping the essence. Write this bio in 500 words, or let's do 250 words. So then it takes all that information. Now it shortens it down. Any questions on that? And like LinkedIn, you might even need something that's like 250 characters, right? So build out the long one and then take your information, you can pare it down to what you need. Okay. All right. Now we're going to do some really cool stuff. This is bonus. If you're on the call today, you're getting bonus. So I'm going to hit copy. So I'm going to copy the long one, long form. All right. Let me one other thing I need to bring up. 1 second. Get this up here and then we'll get started. Okay, perfect. All right. So we talked about Claude a little bit yesterday. So this is Claude. And if you're doing anything, I recommend building inside of what are called projects. So it kind of keeps everything together. So I've got a project for like optimizing my Omni Elevate website, and I've got a real estate website. I've got a couple other projects, and it keeps it all together because you're also going to like tell it how you want to brand it. And if you tell it, it's going to remember. And so that you have consistency across pages you build, blog posts, all that type of thing. So I'm inside my project for Omni Elevate, and I'm going to say create a HTML page for Sil Joseph Jr., realtor with the Longabar team, brokered by JLA Realty and powered by Omnia Elevate. Then I'm going to say use this for context. Then I'm going to paste that entire bio that we created on ChatGPT. Is everybody following me there? Okay, great. Um, include his headshot. So I'm going to just grab one here. So you have to have,
I'm sorry, Jeremy, are you sharing your screen again?
yep. All right, can y'all see it? No. All right.
No.
Well, that makes it impossible. Here we go. All right, can you see it now?
Yes.
Omnia Elevate website. So let me go back up to the top here. So I'm just putting in the prompt. So I created a project. The project's Omnia Elevate website optimization. So you might have one if you're doing like Bolt Trail or whatever, you could have it called Bolt Trail optimization, just so you keep everything consistent as you're working through that. All right, so I said create an HTML page for Sil Joseph Jr., the realtor with the Amalgamar team, brokered by JLA Realty, powered by Omni Elevate. Use this for context, and then I pasted the bio. All right, is everybody following me there? And you can take yourself off mute because I can't see you.
Yes.
Good. Okay. All right. So there's that whole bio. And down here at the bottom, it says include his headshot. So the headshot has to be hosted somewhere. So if you have a website, the picture could be in there. Um, I'm using right now a photo he has out there on Google. So I'm posting the link address to that. So it knows where to go out and find the headshot to include in this page that it's going to build. All right. Then last, I'm going to say his contact information is, and then I'm going to have to grab that. So 1 second. Let's see. So there we go. So there's his email address, and there's his phone number. Okay. So I'm going to give it a command to make sure this content does not violate any fair housing laws, nor should it violate HAR, NAR, TXR, or TREC marketing guidelines. Okay. And that's it. So I've got my prompt in there. It's got his bio, his contact information, his headshot. Let me fix his phone number. Let's see, 294-850. Let's take this out here. All right. Once I'm done, I'm going to just hit enter. Now watch what this does. All right. Any questions on that? It's going to take a minute to build. I want you to see what this can do. Any questions about Claude? Claude is free. You only get so many tokens, though. You can run through tokens pretty fast. $20 a month is like the pro version, kind of like ChatGPT. And I pay $100 for what they call Claude Max. So, which essentially it just gives me a lot more tokens. So I'm building stuff all the time. Um, I've got it to where it'll like change my schedule on Google by just speaking into my phone, and it can set appointments with people and send them an email without me having to touch anything. So I can automate a lot of stuff using Claude.
You said tokens. Do those ever replenish or is it one and done?
No, so it replenishes its every month. They'll get restored. My recommendation with any of the AIs, because all of them, like Perplexity is like $20 a month, is find the ones you'll use. A lot of them will do most of them will do the same things. Claude does a lot of programming. I'm working on building an app for organization. So it does a lot of that type of stuff too, and it does a lot of automation. And so, like I said, I can go in here on my phone, talk to Claude, say, hey, I need to send an email to Charlotte. I needed to provide my coaching link, ask her about how her event went today, and then send it. It'll craft my whole email, send it, and it'll go out to Calendly, grab my link, and something that would take me 15 minutes to have to go to all the different tools. Now I can just give it instruction and it'll go out and do it for me.
So, where did you learn how to use Claude so
Where did I
well?
learn how to use Claude? Just like this. Just get in there and play with it. And there's so many things out there. If you go on TikTok and YouTube, there's so many videos that'll walk you through step by step on how to do different tasks. So like right now, it's writing the file for me. It's doing all the stuff. It's telling me all the things it's doing in the background. I'm not a programmer, so I don't know what a sandbox is. I don't know about what proxy blocked is. Um, so it's figuring out all that stuff to make it work.
What exactly are we creating right now?
So I'm taking that bio and I'm creating a page that now I'll go over to Bold Trail and stick it in Bold Trail. But it's going to look, instead of just your common text, ugly looking page, It's going to be a really pretty HTML page. And you'll see it here in a second. It's getting close. And you can see up here on the right, it's saying progress. So it already verified the headshot. And then it's going to come down to here to step 2. It's going to build the profile page. And then 3, it's going to check and make sure that now this file is compliant and not going to get us in trouble. All right. So
Tell me one more
while that's
time,
building,
you're
go ahead.
building this to post or to put where?
I'm going to put it on a bold trail page. So I'm going to create like this is the agent profile, but I really want that to show up. Let's see if I can show you the website here. So, and I know there's some that don't have access to Bold Trail. You can do this on WordPress. You can do it on any site. But I'd like to have like an About Me page up here. It's going to be about Sil, but I'm going to put it up here at the top of the page. Okay. So right now, this is the one you get by default. And it's just not that pretty. It's hard to read. Okay. So while that's still building, over here, if you want to add a page, you just go to your web IDX on the left-hand side, go to pages, and then I'm going to create a custom page. All right, so right now it's going to give you just a block. This is just a drag and drop thing over here, but I'm going to grab this one that says HTML. I'm going to put that HTML block in here because we're going to do this all in code. All right, so let's go back over to Claude, see if it's done yet. All right. So it's done. It's got this file that is created. It's put it into a folder. So I'm going to say show me the file in the folder. And there it is, Sil Joseph. So what I'm going to do is just drag that out onto a blank Google page. Let's try that again. Go back to Claude, go in the folder, drag it, and there it is. It took all that information and turned it into this beautiful page. Okay, all the buttons work, so you can call and text from here. Any questions on that so far? So we went to Claude. We told it what it wanted. We wanted it to build, and then it built it for us. Okay. Now this file doesn't exist on the website yet. So it's almost like if you think it's like a preview. So what I have to do to get it over here onto the bold trail is I just right click on it and I go down to what it says here called view page source. And then you're going to get all the stuff that you don't understand. It's okay. All you're going to do is click in here and then hit Control A to select all of it. And then you're going to hit Control C to copy. So it's like a big cut and paste file. I'm going to go back over to bold trail now. Inside this block, I'm going to paste all that content. Okay. Does everybody follow me on that? Stop me if you don't know where we're at. Okay. All right, so up here you see page title. You can just put a page title on there and move on, but we want you to be found in search engine optimization and AI searches now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to advanced options. Right. I'm going to go back to Claude. I'm going to say, give me the backend SEO components for this page.
Jeremy, Mel's wanting to know if you have the directions written down at some point of reference.
No, they're all in my head. You can watch the video. I'm going to have the video. Mel, are you with JLA?
Yes, I guess I could take
Okay.
myself off mute. I am with JOA,
Okay.
correct.
Okay. Yep. I'll have the video for it.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
Yep. All right. So it's writing all the back end SEO stuff. It's a really important part. Now, again, you could do this on a WordPress site. You could do this inside a Bold Trail site. You could do it in a Wix site. It's all going to be the same thing. All right. So here we go. And there on the right-hand side, you can see like it gave me all the fields. So here's my title. Just going to copy it. Go over to Bold Trail, page title, paste. Okay. Go back. The slug, it's suggesting just Cyril Joseph. I'm going to go back. Paste. Category is just if you, we won't get into all the Bold Trail stuff, but you can put pages into categories. So it kind of helps you sort them out. So you might have, if you're building pages for like your vendors, you'd have a vendor category. Down here, the meta tag description. It's important right here. Here's your meta description. Paste. Tag words. So let's see if it gave us tag words. Sometimes it will, and sometimes it won't. I can go in and ask it, what are the tags I should include, or tag words? Separate by commas. All right, so it's going to work on that. It's going to give me all of that. So if it doesn't give you everything you need, you just keep asking, what is it that you need? And then it'll go do the research. There it is. So I'm going to copy all the tags, paste. All right, and save. I got to pick a category. Let's call it living use. And then once I'm done, I publish the page. Then I can view it. So this is what it's going to look like live. Okay. So you can see some of the things in here. You might have to go back to Claude and say, hey, this didn't work. And it'll fix it all. But a lot better than just a text page. And it's taking all that information from his bio and sticking it in here. All right. And then you could add pages to your menu. So if you go back, once your page is published, you can go back to your web IDX. You can go to all the way down to where the menus are. It's somewhere buried in here. Went too far, I think. It's somewhere in here. And you would just type in the name of the page, and now it becomes part of your menu. So I could call it about Sil, or about me, or meet Sil, and now that becomes a page that's a menu on your site. All right. So I don't want to get too far into the weeds, but pretty far in the weeds. But did you see though with Claude how that took just a, I just had to tell it what I wanted. And then it took all that information and turned it into a web page. Okay. Then that's got to be hosted somewhere. So you take that code and you go and you put it inside your bold trail, create a page there, or you have a WordPress site, you put the code in there. But you have to have somewhere to go host it so that when people go to your site, it's living there. Okay. I didn't write any of that code, by the way. I'm not even a coder. I barely understand coding. It does it all for you. But you can take things like we did today, take your bio and turn it into something even bigger. And then now you can put that as part of your signature inside your email. You can share that and direct people to that. You could put it on your business card. On the back side, you could have a QR code that points to that link on your website, so people can go learn more about who you are. Those type of things. Questions?